Welcome, everyone. This episode is going to be really special for a few reasons. I'm talking about gifts without guilt to start with, but also this is going to be podcast, Substack, and my newsletter and YouTube. So I'm doing all of them at once. And I was going to do all different versions of it, but you know what? I believe in ease, right? So why am I going to make it harder for myself? So with that, this is day 3. If you're following the 24 days on YouTube, today is day 3. And I love this one and I wanted to share it across all my platforms. So that's what we're doing. I I think everybody goes through this at different points in time. I'm quite impressed because I've had a couple people in my world that don't do this. So if you've ever hit mid-December and you lift out all the gifts and then you lay everything out and you go, oh my gosh, I did it again. You've overspent, you've got major credit card bills, and you kind of just went through Christmas on without intention, I like to say. If that's you, it's okay. We got you today. This year, I've made a pact with myself to really lean into an intentional Christmas. I'm doing it gradually more and more and more every year. But this year, I put on my own stoppers, got my boundaries up, and it's been hard. It's been really hard, I will say. I'm a giver. I love giving things. And but over the years what I found is it was not serving me all that well. And before I get into all that, for those of you that are new to me here, I am Maria Conti. A I talk about intentional living, creating a life that feels good and is built with ease, prosperity, and flow. And you have purpose in your life. That's what I'm all about. I believe that you can have lots of prosperity and you can have flow and ease. It's not one or the other. You don't always have to have all the hustle to get the money, okay? Um, with that, I'm doing 24 days of Christmas on YouTube with bringing you tips and just getting to know me a little bit more on YouTube every single day for the month. And I wanted to do a different style too. I do a lot of things like what I'm doing today, where I talk about very specific topics. I'm also going to be doing some vlog, I guess it is, because video style over there too, to be able to get to know me more and actually show you what it looks like to live what I talk about all the time. And today I'm going to be talking about myself a lot because this is all about how I learned to deal with Christmas the way I have. So let's dive into this. This is gifts without guilt. This is driving towards a more intentional Christmas. So the premise behind all this started because my daughter's birthday is in September and then Christmas is in December. So her birthday comes around and I shop. And I lay it all out and I go, oh my God, I got way too much stuff. So I put a chunk of it away for Christmas. Okay? And then mid-November, I start picking up the odd little thing here and there because I think she'll like it. This is cute. And then, late November, I usually get the wish list, right? With all the things. And I choose what I want to get on there because, she's got some really, some of it's like important things that are, that she might need or, sometimes there's things on there that are more necessity than they are other things. So with that, I go out shopping again. And then mid-December comes around and I pick up a couple little things here and there and I'm out, I need some more stocking stuffers. You know how it goes. It's a slippery slope, right? And then I go to wrap everything. And then I go, oh my gosh, I did it again. I've got oodles and oodles of gifts. So for the last few years, I've been tapering it back. And my daughter has a lot more respect for money now. What I was finding is that she didn't, she was always grateful, but she just expected it to continue to come over and over and over and over. And one year, this is sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. One year, I had pulled back quite a bit. And she opened up her stuff and she goes, that's it? I was horrified. As a parent, it felt horrible. I tease her about it now, and she goes, I can't believe, like, I'm so grateful for everything you give me, Mom, right? I got her a cat for her birthday last year. And almost not every day, but every week, at least once a week, she thanks me for that cat. She is so grateful for it. And she's working now and understands the value of money and working for money and goes out Christmas shopping and realizes that you buy three things and you just spent $200, right? If you get three little things. And so with that, I've gradually been moving forward and forward, like just tapering it back and tapering it back and trying to do more things based on experience. And, as a parent, I want to give her the world, but I also know it doesn't serve her well. And now we're at a point like we're kind of minimalist, and it's like, if I bought her just sweatshirts for Christmas, she'd be happy now, right? And we don't have a lot of things all the time, and we're quite content with what we have. So that helps a lot. So this year, I wrote out a list, I stuck to my budget, and I didn't stash anything away at her birthday. And I can't tell you all the stuff because she'll probably listen to this, right? And I stuck to my list, and I came up with a couple different ways of doing things this year to make it more of an experience for her. And I'll maybe show you that after Christmas, so you can use it maybe next Christmas. But I don't want to give it away right now because it's kind of fun. And so I encourage you so that's my typical Christmas pattern. I was doing that over and over and over and every year. And then I gradually started weaning myself off of that. And I said there was one brutal year in there, right? But we got through that. And I don't have the guilt that I used to. That one year I felt horrible. And now, I know she appreciates everything and everything that I do. And her list is very, very long. I added it up this year, and I think it was $2,500 worth that was on her list. And for me, I've spent that much money on her before, but I'm not going to do that. And she's a couple things on there that she wants. She will actually end up going out and buying those herself, saving up for them and buying them. And I think that's more important. And I don't have anxiety about the credit card bills in January anymore. And, you can have that disconnect between your values and behavior. So you think and you want to be this way, but you're out working impulsively on the other side. So I'd love to know in the comments, what are your patterns at Christmas? Do you overspend? Are you able to keep it all together? And I know people that are just able to keep it all together. They just follow the list exactly. Me being a single parent, I admit when she was younger, I had a lot of, I don't want to say guilt about that, because I never felt guilty about being a single parent, but we didn't have a big family, is more what it was. So once my mom and dad passed, there was only me giving her gifts. And I don't have siblings necessarily. I have a half-sister in the States, but we don't ship things back and forth. It's just quite crazy to do that. Her son is in Japan, and it costs her a fortune to get things over to him. And sometimes, things are slow. It just, our mail system's not the same anymore. So with that, I want you to have a guilt-free Christmas. I want you to simply just enjoy and be really intentional about the gifts that you purchase for people. Make sure it's something that they love and not just whatever was on sale kind of thing. And I would do that. Like, you ever have that moment where you buy all these things for your kids when they're little and they play with the boxes? Yeah. Think about as adults, like even receiving gifts. You get those gifts every once in a while and go, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? We've all had those, right? So be intentional about when you're purchasing something. If you can, get them experiences, or really lean into what matters to them, and make that gift really resonate and be meaningful. The other thing on here is being really careful with the little extras. You know those little stocking stuffers? When you add up the cost of that stocking, sometimes it's like $200 for the stocking stuffers. And sometimes it's more than that. It depends what you put in there. And yeah, think about traditions more than transactions. I love building traditions with my daughter. We've got a couple that we have a handful that we do every single year that we just love. Every year we buy glass ornaments for our Christmas tree. And this year, I didn't bring them. I'm going to go get them. Hang on. I'm going to go get them. So every year we get a glass ornament, and we've been doing that since she was born. And so we have a whole tree full of special glass ornaments, and we have seemed like a vibe. Like we don't get really big, flashy like hot dogs and things like that. We kind of have to fit the vibe of the tree. So some of my favorites are you can see it. I don't know if I can zoom in on this, but there is a stack of books. It's a glass ornament. My favorite. I love books. So this year, one of our favorite things to do at Christmas is have a charcuterie board. So we found, I don't know if we can see this, there we go, a charcuterie board Christmas ornament. And then we're spa people and we're cat people. So we have a Christmas ornament that is, I don't know if you can see this, try and block some of the light there. It's a little kitty cat with cucumbers on its eyes, little spa turban on its head, and all decked out in a little spa robe. Very, very fun. That's one of the traditions that we do. We always have croissants, homemade croissants on Christmas morning, and bacon. And when we were in Vancouver, we had a tradition that we did every year, but now that we're in Winnipeg, we've kind of been building different traditions. And this year I'm going to start something new, which will be fun, which I'll tell you after Christmas, because I don't want to spoil anything. And it's something that I wanted to do. And I'm hoping that she gets on board with it. If she doesn't, right? But think about starting your own traditions. I know often we assume the family traditions, but if they don't mean anything to you, be okay with starting your own traditions. Set those boundaries for yourself. It's your life, right? And think about what matters most with you and your family, your immediate family. Figure out what, try and have those traditions versus transactions at Christmas. Buying all the stuff. I love gifts, don't get me wrong. I love gifts, and I buy quite a few things for myself that go under the tree. Some things don't make it under the tree because I bought myself like a new walking pad, and it's over there. I had to make sure it worked and stuff like that before but I wasn't going to wrap that up either. But it is a Christmas gift to myself. So with that, today was all about not letting yourself get into that space of overconsumption and impulse spending. And I have created something for you if you are seriously an impulse spender. It's called the Impulse Spend Interrupter. I will link it below here. It is just getting finished up, so I'm hoping the editing is done tonight on it. What I did is I took all the things I did to move away from my impulse spending, to be able to be debt free, to be able to not worry about money so much. So, and now I don't even like shopping that much anymore. My shopping now is very strategic. It's very specific. It's groceries, house things. And if I go shopping for myself, I'm looking for something very specific. I need new bras and underwear. I need new socks, or I need new black pants. I just don't go to the mall for a day of shopping. We just don't do that really. But my weak point now is Chapters or Indigo, which is, if you're in the States, Barnes & Noble, any really good bookstore. Weak point for me, okay? I have my weak spot still. So with that, I'm going to sign off for today. Thank you for tuning in. And you know what? I do not know what tomorrow's going to bring, so I can't even give you a teaser on that one because I did not put my notes in front of me, which is okay. You can be surprised by tomorrow. Let me just see if I have it here. No. 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 It's okay. We don't have to know everything, right? I will see you tomorrow first thing. Hope you have a great day, everyone.